Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Zachary Dickinson, and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about what I've been reading, watching, if I ever give up updates on my writing journey, and stuff like that. So today will be the beginning of a three-part series where I go over anime that I've watched since I started watching anime 5 years ago, during the fall semester of my freshman year of college. The only anime that will be missing will be the ones I watched this year, which will be in a different video at the end of this year, going over all the TV shows, anime and non-anime, that I've watched this year. So here we go. All right, welcome over. So here we got the tier list. We got the 5 tiers all time. Great, good. Can't wait for more means that they're still good, but I would like more of it to improve what I think about it. And then the last one is they may be good, they may be bad, but I will never find out more about it because, well, it's unlikely to ever get another season. And if it does, I will be greatly happy. And so we got about 30 anime right here, so something like that. And they're currently in roughly this is roughly numbered to D in alphabetical order. And that'll be how the other two videos are like. So first off, we have 91 days, which I will put this one in good because it was good. And 91 Days is a anime where we're in the Great Depression era, like 1930s, and it's a gang warfare. I think it's in like London or something like that, maybe America too. But it's gang warfare, and basically the main character is trying to get revenge against the gang, and he like joins them because they like killed his family. Okay. So next we have a Returner's Magic Should Be Special. This is can't wait for more. I think there is another season coming, but I'm not sure. It is like 12 or 13 episodes where the opening clip is literally him in the final battle against like a demon or monster, an invading force. And he gets plucked away, and they all basically die, and he gets reversed back in time to the beginning of his school days. And so now he has to try to prevent all that happened with all the knowledge that he has. It's a great anime, but of course it doesn't get finished because it's large scale. So yeah, that is A Returner's Magic Should Be Special. I would love more of it. The only reason that I don't read the mangas is, well, I already read a ton of books every year, so I don't really have that much time to read manga. Okay. So next we have Akame ga Kill, which is a shonen anime, and I'll put it in good only because it's strictly off of the anime, and the anime catches up to the manga very quickly around like episode 15 maybe, and so the rest of it is just a rushed ending, and it's a lot better in the manga, and I would love it if they remade it, but they're in like that. And so this is a band of people trying to rebel against an evil empire that is currently controlling their country or continent or whatever. And they have imperial arms, which are weapons that vary in different abilities and stuff. And so it's a good show, caught up to the manga, and I would love it if it got remade and actually done properly. So next, Akashic Magic Records for instructors, something like that. I wish there could be more. It's a good show. Kind of wraps up a lot of details, but I just wish there would be more. As a as a reincarnated aristocrat, um, as a reincarnated aristocrat, I will use my appraisal skill to rise in the world. It's a great anime. He is reborn into a wonderful world of like magic and like class system. He's born into the noble family who like governs the small little region, like kind of a like town or village, and he just the whole goal is for him to eventually be ruler of the country. And right now he's in a province who is like going to end up like rebel in a way and become independent. And there are 13 or so provinces. And so there's already season two, and 2 seasons out, and a third season is already in production. I know that much. And so it's great. It's wonderful. Season one was good. Season two was great, and I can't wait for more. So next we have Assassin's Pride. I wish there were more because honestly, I watched this about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. It's 13 episodes, and I don't really remember much about it. I think the premise is this assassin is sent to like kill this girl or be this girl's protector or something like that. I don't really remember it the best. That's how it is going to be for some of these. All right, we got Assassination Classroom, all time, period. If you know it, you've seen it, or you know of it, it is all time classic. It is great. It is 50 episodes, 2 seasons long, and it is greatness. Period. Octopus guy comes up, destroys most of the moon, and his demand is, let me teach these kids. You'll have 1 year to kill me, or I kill all of you. Dark backstory. It is, if you watch this, it is best to like not binge it because I found it hard to binge so quickly because it's very episodic with this underlying plot that slowly gets developed, kind of like your 2010s TV shows like Grey's Anatomy and stuff like that, where there's a plot for the episode and then the plot of the whole show is just underlying and slowly building to come ahead towards the end of the season or whenever it comes to the head, which is at the end of the second season. All right, next we have Be the Beginning. Let me actually do this. Trash. Season 1 was good, Season 2 was trash, and I don't really like it anymore. It's a detective anime with mysterious beings or like robots and stuff, and I just didn't really like Season 2, so I'm not really going to talk about it, and I also don't remember it because I didn't understand it as well. Ayaka, it is great. It's pretty much all wrapped up. I would be perfectly fine if there's no more or if there's more. It'd be great, and I'd be fine with it. But I found that it pretty much wrapped itself up in all 13 episodes. So basically, the first episode is this kid like graduates middle school, and then his family that he hasn't heard of or known about in his entire life comes and takes him away and tells him and brings him over to an island off where he never heard of. And well, he kind of finds about his upbringing and who he actually is. And that ends up being a very fun story. Alright, we got Black Clover, which is all time, and I can't wait for more of it to come out. It is 170 episodes with only about 40 episodes of filler. It is a Shonen Jump anime, as in it's one of the manga that comes on Shonen Jump or is known as a shonen manga. This is Asta. In a world full of magic, Asta has no magic, but he still gets a grimoire. What is in that grimoire? You will find out very early on, and he ends up being very broken. And the only reason he can ever wield that specific grimoire is because of his insane physique that he built to compensate for the fact that he has no magic. Asterisk War, it has 2 seasons. Kid gets to school. 2 seasons, 24 episodes. Kid gets to the school. A mistake happens where he accidentally ends up in a girl's room while she's changing, or accidentally hits her, something along those lines. Blah 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 blah. They end up sharing a like dorm room together, which kind of sounds very weird. And they kind of like fall in love and stuff. And this kid comes to this school because his sister disappeared there. If you're ever gonna ask me why I don't know the names of some of these, well, I watched a lot of these a while ago, and I just didn't feel like looking up all the names. All right, next is an isekai called Black Summer, and it's gonna go on. I wish there could be more because it was 13 episodes. It was pretty good. It's an isekai, so I think the guy died. Got reincarnated. No. Black Summoner, yeah, that's the special one. He got summoned to this world, and he is, I forget what he's a summoner, like a necromancer or something like that. And it's an overall fun show. But yeah, there's nothing more about it. Blood of Zeus, trash. I watched 1 season of it. The next parts or seasons came out much later, and I forgot the whole about it. And so I tried watching season 2, and I was like, no, I can't. Tried watching season 1, and I was like, this actually sucks. So I couldn't even get past the first episode. So that's all I'll say on that. I just didn't end up coming back to it. Now we have Berserk of Gluttony, another isekai and another show that I wish there could be more of. You will recognize very quickly that a lot of isekai are very much, I wish there could be more. Because they come in for 1 season and then come back maybe 5 to 10 years later, if ever. Is this an isekai? I don't know, but it may not be an isekai actually. But, oh wait, it got a season 2, but it didn't actually close up everything, but it actually had a pretty good premise. Our main character gets this sword that ends up needing to kill a lot of people or monsters. So it has to be fed. And then he slowly gathers a reputation. And he wears this mask, and it becomes intimidating. And that's most of that. Yeah. Then we got Castlevania, all time. I initially watched this up to like season 2 and dropped it because of one weird scene in like the last or second to last episode of that season. And then I continued to watch. No, it was season 3 actually, not season 2. My bad. But then watched it to the end, and my goodness, the animation for that finale fight was insane. So and the first season is 4 episodes, by the way. And basically, first season, the devil or Dracula, he falls in love, gets with a girl. Girl gets discovered to have fallen in love with Dracula. They burn her at the stake, which is, my goodness sake, why? You know he's powerful, but you burn his wife at the stake for some reason. Yeah. And then he just goes on a rightful rampage, and he gives them, y'all have 1 year. 1 year to collect yourselves, and then I'm burning this place to the ground. And it's mostly in like Europe, where Dracula is mostly known to be. And so we have a famous like vampire or supernatural hunter, someone with magic, and Dracula's son. That mostly sums up season 1 or like the beginning of season 2. But overall, phenomenal show. And so, skipping a few, I'm going to go to Castlevania Nocturne. It's the sequel to Castlevania. This guy, I think his name is Richter. Can't wait for the 3rd season. I know it's coming. So this is set in the Victorian era, and I think the first Castlevania is set in like the 1200s or something. And this one, or maybe because this one takes place in like the 1700s. So that one must have been in the 1500s. I don't know. But Nocturne takes place about 300 years later. And this one, basically, his mother gets killed by this demon. And he now wants revenge, but he also has to go away in hiding because he doesn't actually have powers. And it is absolute great. It is very slow paced though, and it's kind of hard to get into if you don't just binge it all at once. But it's a wonderful sequel to a wonderful show. All right, we got Crone Shelled Regios. Goes, I wish there could be more. Why? Because I don't remember it to the best, but I do remember it to be a great show. 13 episodes, and a kid mysteriously comes over to this domed city that is constantly moving because there's these monsters or creatures that are constantly like attacking them. Cool show. I just don't remember it all that well. Bungo Stray Dogs, great. Detective show where all the characters in it have a special ability or power. Main character, I forgot his name, but his power is he is a were-tiger. And what that means is he just transforms into a white tiger. And so they just solve, and it's a detective show, so they just solve various stories or issues that are going on around them. And it's a great show. It has 5 seasons now. It had like 2 or 3 seasons. It had 3 seasons for a while, and then season 4 and season 5 came out in 1 year. And it is just so great. Alright, we got Blue Exorcist. Blue Exorcist. All time. All time, at least in the terms of these ones here. All time. Blue Exorcist. The 2 main characters. Rin. What's his brother's name? Rin and his brother, Okumura. Sons of Satan. They are collectively the 2 twin brothers, the same age, yet one looks and acts as if he's 10 years older, and the other one is a brat that is rebellious and doesn't follow rules. They are the secret 2 sons of Satan. And my goodness, does this pick up in seasons 4 and 5. So much lore that gets dropped, the backstory of their birth and their parents coming together finally gets revealed, and chef's kiss, just greatness. Code Geass, all-time classic. If you know of anime, you know of Code Geass. Mecha style anime where our main character is wanting to get revenge. Oh, Lelouch, yeah. Lelouch v. Britannia. He is one of the actual sons of the evil empire. And so his goal is to remake the world and eventually rule it. And so it is 50 episodes and wonderful. And I binged this in like a week about 3 years ago. So it is great. We now have Classroom of the Elite. I can't wait for season 4 to come out in January or April. A very psychological thriller where our main character, Ayana Koji, escaped from his parents or wherever he was made, kind of, and he's just this super genius that wants to go undiscovered, but he goes to a school where every class in his grade is constantly competing to be the greatest, and there are these consequences for winning and losing the games, but there's this also bigger psychological game that's always happening for something else, and it is glorious. I can't wait for the next season. Alright, we now have Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Greatness. I wish there could be more, but most of what happens, once it gets to the end of the first season, I'm perfectly satisfied with it. It's kind of the anime where the main character, which I can't remember the name, and I'm kind of mad about that. The main character is shunned away from his family, but secretly is actually pretty OP. and just focuses on the basics of sword fighting. That's pretty much all it is about. And then he enters a tournament to gain recognition in order to like graduate and stuff. But his family and others are constantly putting things in his path, and he eventually has to, and he just has to go through that battle after battle after battle into oblivion. All right. Then we got Chilling in Another World with level 2 super cheat powers. Yeah, one of the newer anime that has a long name. Came out last year. I love it. Main character gets summoned into this other world with this other guy. Main character seems to have no powers at all. However, and so he leaves and goes to a forest after a few events. And he levels up one time, and level 2 goes to infinity for all stats possible. So he's OP, but wants to live a quiet life on like a farm with like a house and stuff, and ends up with this girl who is also like a demon cat, giant like cat thing. And so it's a great anime, and I wish there would be more. All right, and then we got Death Note, all time period. 37 episodes. However, the first like half or so is the best over the second half. You'll know once you watch it. Basically, Guy gets this book that is the Death Note, where whichever names he writes down on it will die. And that happens through his demon thing that is constantly coming around him. And so it is great. It is pretty much an all-timer and a classic, and everyone loves it. Dandadan, one of the newer shonen mangas that have been getting an anime, and it's very comedic. Two main characters. The guy believes in space and aliens. The girl believes in the supernatural. And so in the first episode, they meet, and they have the other go to they have each other go to the other's fantasized location where the alien or the space or the alien or the supernatural will be, and they discover both to exist. And so that is great. Darwin's Game, good. Probably not going to get another season, but it's just really good. Imagine a game where you have to kill each other. Yeah, that's Darwin's Game. But most of it is like the premise of like the game itself is as if you're not actually killing each other, it's just a game, and then they actually end up starting to kill people. And so it's kind of like a gang warfare, and we just follow this guy as he collects his party and becomes like OP, I guess. Attack on Titan, good. Attack on Titan Island, Titans invade. Eren Yeager wants to kill him because they killed his mother. That's the premise. I can't go into too much detail because, after a couple episodes, Eren Yeager is a Titan. That's about all I can go into. If you know about this, you know that the ending is questionable. And that season 4 took forever to actually finish, and it was in like 6 parts over like 5 years or something like that. But overall, it's a great show. Very gory and very graphic with how the Titans are. But yeah, that is my first part of a 3-part series where I rank and explain anime I've watched over roughly the past 5 years. So see you next time.